Hello everyone, and welcome to this race at the Circuit of Americas in the USA. Okay, so we see some shots of the track then. As you can see, I'm driving as Lewis Hamilton in the McLaren. And I'm starting from stone cold last on the grid, seeing if I can fight my way right up to P1. So first of all, tweaking my strategy. I'm going to start on the prime tyre, the harder of the two. And I'm going to pit about a lap later than they recommended there. Go to the option tyre. They've actually got the tyre choices slightly wrong in this game as to real life. They're actually using the hard and medium compounds, whereas in this game they've done medium and soft. It's slightly wrong, but I'm sure we'll live. So as we see, Alonso on pole, and there's my teammate, and there's me right at the back. So I'm using onboard. So a bit of fun on my legs there, using onboard, and I'm going to get a bad start because, as in previous quick races, I like to stay at the back the whole way to give me a bit more of a challenge. It's 25% distance race, 14 laps. So rather than try and, I probably would get about halfway up the grid just in this first corner, so rather than bother with that, I'll stay right at the back behind every single car just for the first lap. And after that I can push. That's just to let the field fan out a bit more so I can't overtake them so quickly and so easily. So in lean mixture then, shifting it through the gears, trying to save fuel. Ooh, there's quite a bit of debris there. Sort of think about avoiding it, but there's not really a lot of point avoiding it. You can't get punctures off it, so it doesn't really matter. So yes, just trying to conserve fuel, and obviously my tyres a little bit, but not too worried about that. So they're cruising really, because they're incredibly slow. Ooh, as they go very slow, and actually touch the back of De La Rosa there. They went massively slow. And there must have been some sort of incident up ahead that I didn't see, but caught me out a little bit. Got to be a bit careful, don't want to lose a front wing on this slow first lap. So just conserving as much fuel as I can, so then I can save it up for later in the race when I will need it to try and overtake the quicker guys. No point in using so much fuel just cruising around doing a first lap. So I need to make sure I stay within touching distance of them then. I don't want to obviously fall back and give me work to try and catch up with them or anything like that. Stay reasonably close. I need to obviously watch out because they are trying to battle with each other there. So don't want to get caught out again or accidentally overtake them, because then they will slow down because they think I've overtaken them. Just coming into this last sector then. Coming around this corner that's like turn 8 at Turkey. Almost a replica of it. Oh, was I accidentally got on the grass after swerve. On this corner that they were struggling massively on in FP1. Right, so turning to rich mixture then, coming onto this home straight. Want to get a reasonably good run, but not massively, because I don't want to be flying past him too early. I want to be around the finish line when I'm coming past him. Just before the finish line I came past him, but that'll be fine. So I have to dodge around these cars, they're a bit all over the shop. I should get 3 just on the home straight though. So that's good, and I can now work on this little bit of gap I've got to Glock in front of me. So still keeping on rich mixture just so I can catch up with this next little pack. They seem to be going quite slow. Oh, very slow. Looks like someone must have taken some damage. So I jumped the inside there, but oh no, it's been completely blocked. Nowhere I can go. Ooh, as I try and force my way through, but not easy. I think that must have been Vettel there, because it's Vettel far back in the pack. I think it must have been Vettel that's probably lost a front wing crawling along. Ooh, massive oversteer there. So here we go then. That gave me a few free easy spaces, didn't it? Easy places, but still a cater in front of me, so it's not going to be massively easy because slower cars are still in front of me, so I still need to be cautious. So get a nice lot of slipstream then off this Toro Rosso in front of me. Dive out from behind him. Comfortably got past him, straight into the slipstream with the Caterham. Let's see if I can get him under braking then. I can. Ooh, not done yet though, is it? And now it is. He didn't give me that position easily though, did he? Bit of a fight. Ooh, let's get a bit of oversteer once again. So up into 14th already then. Lap 2. It's Webber in front of me. Webber's Red Bull not having a fantastic race, are they? Let's hope that happens on Sunday, so that we get a nice interesting championship for Brazil. Was I dive at the inside of Hulkenberg there, but think better of it, and ooh, was I tapping there? Thought about diving at the inside of him, but then had to go across the grass to avoid him, and then because of that I accidentally hit the back of him. Bit of oversteer there, coming out the last corner. Get a nice run on Hulkenberg, that should be an easy move. It is indeed. So braking into this first corner, braking very late, no locking though. Using this cockpit view, I do normally use a T-cam, but using this cockpit view I did find it very hard to find some of these apexes, because the wing mirror is right where you want to look. So particularly in that first corner, we'll see next lap, particularly in the first corner, it's actually really quite difficult to see the apex until you're pretty much on top of it, which I hear is the same for the real Formula 1 drivers, so should make for an interesting race on Sunday. Hopefully. So I'm coming up behind Webber then, up into 13th. You can see the field starting to spread out on the mini-map though. So I directly inside of him, I'm well alongside him. I should just be able to push him out wide, and I do indeed. No, not being too friendly here, don't need to be. DRS open them. No on screen display to show that, but you did see me press the button just a second ago as I go to standard mixture now to save a bit of fuel for the end of the race. So I directly inside of, ooh, didn't expect that. Both cars, so Senna, that was the Williams and the Lotus. I managed to get past there. I think it was a Raikkonen, yes, Raikkonen it was as well. So that was good. 2 positions. I think they've been a bit cautious watching each other, so I'll have me some of that. As I come out of that slow corner there, into this high speed section. Up into 10th, up into the points already. Not that there is points in a quick race. So DRS is the next guy then. As that exit there is incredibly stingy on the corner cutting, supposedly. It's when you get all 4 wheels across that white line. It's not the curb isn't the white line, the actual the line before the curb is what's the edge of the racing track. So if you get all 4 wheels over that, they penalise you, which is unlike any other corner really. Let's take a couple of stabs at the brake there. Unlike any other corner in F1 2012, normally they're a bit more relaxed with the edges of the track, but on that particular corner they've been quite strict, which, I mean, it's difficult, isn't it, because it's different. I wouldn't mind if they did it on all of them or none of them. Just make up your mind. I think developers probably done some test laps and found that they were running wide all the time, as I've done. If any of you have watched my first laps at this track, I ran wide every lap for the first 6 laps or so. Just incredibly hard, as we saw in FP1 as well, people running wide. It's incredibly hard. Oh, was a run wide there. Incredibly hard to get around that corner well, and so easy to run wide. So I guess the initial feedback they have with this track, they made it very strict on the exit there, so you don't run off and gain too much time, which I guess is fair enough. So back on rich mixture then, you've still got plenty of fuel. Going to standard now though. So I did quite enjoy racing in cockpit mode. I really feel like Lewis Hamilton, but as I said, it's a bit like now, like you can't really see the apex here on top of it because that wing mirror just is perfectly in the way. I forgot to mention turn 1 as we went past it, but I'll try and remember this lap. But yes, it was enjoyable to race in cockpit view, and it's also quite nice that you can see my legs, so you can watch what I'm doing with the throttle and the brake. Games like Gran Turismo 5 have got actual throttle and brake traces on the screen, so that you can see exactly what I'm doing with them. But at least with this, you can see my. So he takes one hand off the wheel to turn to rich mixture there. You can see my right foot is flat on the floor, and when we come up to this first corner, you'll see the left foot go down to brake, and there we go. Okay, so yeah, see that first corner there? We couldn't really see it until we're on top of it. It's quite strange, especially when there's someone alongside you. You're not sure whether you should turn in or not. It's very strange. Yeah, so if you want to, just keep an eye on my legs and see how I modulate the brake. I don't just keep full brakes, particularly at the end of a big long straight. I'll go full brakes for the first sort of 50 metres or so of the braking zone, and then I'll start to ease off as the speed scrubs off and you loosen downforce, so you can't apply full brakes any longer. Might be interesting for you guys to keep an eye on that. An aspect you've never really seen of my racing. You saw there, look, I ease off the brakes and then I'll get on the power now. It's not an exact measurement, as I said. It'd be quite interesting if would possibly a good addition to the next game. You could turn on perhaps statistics, like I said, like Gran Turismo 5's got, so you get an actual bar that tells you how much throttle and brake the player's applying. Also, they've got a G-force meter, but I'm not sure that's required. Just the throttle and brake would be interesting, make it more interesting for you guys anyway. Just to see exactly what I'm doing with my pedals. Okay, so up to 9th position then. Kobayashi is I'm chasing down now. So I cut that corner a little bit, but get away with it. So, as you can see on the minimap though, they're all quite spread out now. There's at least a second between all of them, so it's not going to be easy overtakes from now, I shouldn't imagine. Coming into the last corner then, trying to gain desperately on Kobayashi so I can get into the DRS zone. Oh, but I run wide. That's probably because I didn't shift down to 3rd gear, or 2nd gear, so I stayed in 3rd gear, which put me off. The revs probably sounded different than I was expecting, and I judge how much I need to brake based on the revs mostly. Obviously visually as well, but so if on certain corners I know I've got to be in second gear, I know how the engine should sound to go the right speed through that corner. So on that corner I suspect that's what happened. I shifted down to third, and of course the engine noise was the same, but the speed was higher, so it caught me out. So I'll give you an example into this next corner. Not this corner, this next tight corner. So shifting up through the gears, so I'll be obviously listening to the revs. As I break down now, I'll go into second gear, just wait for the revs to drop to what I'm used to, and obviously ignore it once again. I don't really, well, hear it for shifting up, but I've got the lights as well to give me an idea. Same into this next tight corner, I'll shift down to second. Sometimes I go down to first, but generally go down to second. That should help my RPM there. That's what I always listen for, just that certain level, just so I know how quick I need to be in each corner. Okay, so gaining on Kobayashi then, only 1.5 back from now. Hopefully I should be in the DRS zone next lap, but they should be pitting fairly soon, as most of the front runners should be on the options, and obviously I'm on the prime, so I can run a bit longer. Ooh, so it's very easy to do that in that corner, to get grass on your tyres, and of course that, there we go, pushes you wide on that corner, and I get another warning for corner cuts, so you need to be careful. I don't want to be getting a penalty. As you can see, yes, indeed, a lot of people pit that. So rich mixture there, I need to put in some good lap times now to A, stay in front of those people that are exiting the pits. Will I do that? I will. Comfortably ahead of them, but my main concern is just try and overtake the people that came in the pits before that. So as it's Vettel behind me, I believe it's Alonso behind him, so just like hopefully the championship will be on Sunday. So yes, as I said, I need to push hard to try and say Kobayashi in front of me. If I can push now, I can overtake him in the pits rather than having to do it the hard way on the track. So you see me pushing very hard there, trying to rinse all the speed out I can out of this McLaren. This is a very quick car in F1 2012. Probably the fastest, I would say, debatably. Red Bull probably is the strongest in the high-speed corners, as you expect, but the McLaren is overall, I'd say, the fastest. Better mechanical grip, better straight line speed, and still incredibly quick in the high speed. So you see I've got 3 laps spare of fuel. So running this mixture will be burning that down a little bit. So I cut the corner slightly there. So yes, as you see, using every inch of the track. Ooh, run a bit wide though. Didn't quite use every inch of that apex, did I? Half a second up though, purple sector, fastest of anyone. Half a second up on my previous. I certainly am pushing. So coming through this high speed section, it's easily flat even in the race. Just need to be a little bit careful of your line, but it's not too bad. It's not like turning in Turkey really, it's slower speed, so it's easier flat. So as the next 2 cars come into the pits then, they've gifted me the lead, but obviously I do need to pit yet. Ooh, so I run wide once again that last corner, but didn't cost me too much again. You saw I was in 3rd gear, so it probably caught me out. So I assume the lead then and do a fast lap of the race while I do it. 40.5, 7.5 tenths up on my previous. As you can see on the left there, the leaderboards, Vettel, Alonso get past the people who just pitted, and Rosberg is in 4th, so all very closely packed there, look. So Vettel's 7 seconds back from me, and after that they're all within about half a second of each other. So get a bit of dirt on my tyres there, I have to try and wear that off. Ooh, cut the corner and get more dirt on my tyres, that really makes you a lot slower into this corner. See me taking multiple stabs at the throttle there, just desperately trying to get the power down, but I can't. 7.6 to Vettel then, so I might even be able to get Vettel in the pits, I'll be surprised, but I'm not too worried if I don't, because obviously I'll be on the faster option tyre, and I will also have a bit of spare fuel, so I can turn to rich mixture and hopefully have him. Just coming down this long straight once again then. You can see my tyres are starting to wear there, only 2 laps extra of fuel now. I'm not too worried about that. I just, like I said, want to overtake people in the pits. Ooh, bit of oversteer there, and I'm 2 tenths down on my previous, so not good. Got a better apex there though, so that probably saved me 2 tenths, I would say. So I could still be a fast lap of the race on this lap. 1.4 back to Vettel now. Wow, he lost a big chunk of time to me there. Not sure what happened, but that was a lot of time. Okay, so coming to this tricky, I think it's turn 19, I believe. I cut the corner quite badly there, but don't get a warning. Into this last corner, which I think is turn 20. Desperately trying to get the power down for this long home straight. And that beautiful first corner, look at it. Wall of tarmac. It's been referred to many times. 2 tenths down on previous I was, but it's still a very quick lap of 40.7. Okay, so coming down the hill once again then. 9.9 back to Vettel. I will pit on this lap. Probably could stay out a lap or two longer, but I don't want to waste those fresh options. I might as well use them if I've got them available. So 2 tenths up on my previous then. Purple sector, fastest of anyone so far. So really pushing it now. Obviously I won't, even if I go a lot faster, I won't actually be able to set this time, as I'll have to come into the pits at the end of the lap, but these tenths count. Yeah, it looks like, unless there's a massive mistake behind me, it looks like I'm not going to be able to get Vettel in the pits, but it looks like Rosberg's dropped back from them two there on the mini-map. Vettel and Alonso are having a good little battle, but Rosberg's dropped back, interestingly, not sure why. Perhaps there's a bit of an incident, but there we go. That might give me another position, we'll see. I'm not sure how far back he is, but it'll probably be around there that I come out. So it's still a 10th up, not a purple sector, but still a quick sector. So really getting on it. As you can see, it reminded me I need to pit this lap, which I already know. Okay, so come around this high speed section once again. Just one more corner to go after this before I pit. So I use my curves there, look, because I won't have a chance to use the course on the home straight, which I only realised quite late on. To come into this pit then, which is very, very tricky actually. You see me slowing down very early, because look, that barrier just waiting to collect you if you overcook it a little bit. So better to be safe than sorry. Down to lean mixture. Don't need to waste fuel in the pits. Don't need all the power. Of course, I'm on the rev limiter most of the time, or the speed limiter. So what can the McLaren boys do then? 3.3. That was a good stop. So yes, Alonso and Vettel do pass me, but how far back's Rosberg? Will I be able to get him? So go to rich mixture there to give myself maximum power. Looks like I am. He's coming up behind me, but looks like I've managed to get him. I have indeed. It's only just. He is just behind me. There you go. But I managed to get him. That's good then. So now I can just concentrate on, first of all, warming up my tyres. And after that, concentrate on catching Alonso and Vettel. I've got 4 laps to catch them and hopefully take the win. Third place is pretty good. They're in it from last on the grid. Not bad at all. It's exactly what Vettel did, wasn't it, in Abu Dhabi? Okay, so up through the gears then. Coming to this tight hairpin. As I can already feel the grip advantage of these option tyres. I'm pulling away from Rosberg behind me, as you can see. Don't think he's got his DRS, luckily. But even though you can see there, they're still a little bit cold, I'm feeling the advantage of them. They've given me more grip. Okay, so looks like a probably 3.7 back to Alonso, 3.8 more or less. Back to Alonso, let's see if I can get that down in this last sector. 5.2 down on my previous lap, that's obviously because I pitted. Getting a nice line there. That was lovely. Hopefully I can repeat that next couple of laps. They do need to be pretty quick, but obviously, like I said, I have got the advantage of having the option tyres, and they'll be on the prime harder tyres, so I should have the faster tyre on, but that doesn't mean it's going to be easy. They're very quick drivers, so using the rest of my curves then out of the final corner. What was it, 3.8 before? Has it gone down at all? 2.7, a whole second in the last sector alone. Race on then. So let's see if I can catch him up on this lap maybe. Maybe by the end of this lap I might have caught him. So 2.7 through this high speed first sector. Very high speed first sector in fact. Past the Silverstone. We've replicated. 5 seconds up on previous. Purple though, that's the important bit. Fastest of anyone so far. 2.2 to Alonso now, and it looks like it's even less than that again. So half a second in the first sector so far, but it looks like it's been increased. Probably, no, I'm not going to be in DRS zone quite though, I should imagine. Might be, but as I brake very late there just to desperately try and get in the DRS zone, but I don't think I've managed it. I haven't, no, unfortunately. But it's not the end of the world. So shifting up through the gears once again, up in 7th. See, Alonso's got his DRS and Vettel though, he's gained a lot on him, he's right behind him there, as you can see. Ooh, I missed my apex slightly there, but didn't really lose me too much time, perhaps half a tenth. So 1.6 back to Alonso then. So I have really gained on this lap. I should be in the DRS zone next lap, provided I don't make any mistakes. Still got 3 laps left to go. So race most certainly on. See how easy I find it to overtake these faster guys. 'Cause obviously so far I've only really overtaken the slower people. So these are leading the race, so they're not slow. Ooh, as I cut the corner and do get a warning for that one. I need to be very careful though. I should imagine that possibly my last warning. They've given me quite a few. I suspect if I get another warning I might get a penalty, so I need to be very, very careful. I don't want to get a penalty after getting this far. So almost exactly a second back from Alonso then, so I should be able to gain just a tenth or so at least in this first sector. It's a 41, fastest lap of the race. Yeah, I should be able to gain enough, hopefully, to get into the DRS zone. Yeah, look at that. Plenty. Slightly up on my previous lap. Ooh, almost hit him there. I've got of him so much. So half a tenth as across the sector line, but obviously it's a lot less than that now. Ooh, they run a bit wide there. I lose a bit of time, but I should be well within the DRS zone. I do brake very late just to make sure, and I am well inside the DRS zone. Look at that. So he probably have DRS. He does. Unfortunately, he has DRS as well, so it's not going to be massively easy to overtake him. See, he's pulling away from me there. Yes, he's got a slightly higher rev limiter than me, so just have to outbrake him then. Oh, as he squeezed me onto the curb. He's still alongside me. I have to give him room. Look at that, well alongside me. He pushes me out a little bit wide. He's ahead of me, but I'm on the inside line. Can I take him? I think I've got him. Yes, I have. Didn't make it easy for me, did he? Wow. And I lost a bit of time to Vettel. Look at that. He's managed to get away probably around a second away from us. So, very good racing there by Alonso. But I did manage to get past him in the end. So, try and stay within a second of him then, so I can keep the DRS advantage. Let's see if I can manage it then. So, coming to that last corner. You can see pushing very hard there, a lot of corrections on the steering, braking very late, but getting a good apex still. Using as much curves as possible. Down the home straight, so look, 8 thousandths outside of him. Outside the 1 second zone. So, again, I'm generally faster than him in the first sector, so I should comfortably be able to do it, like I did with Alonso, but we'll see, and hopefully he shouldn't have DRS available to him like Alonso did, so it should be more straightforward. It should be slower in a straight line as well, like the Red Bulls usually are. So, yep, 7.5 tenths, 3/4 of a second I am, and it looks like I've gained even more. So probably about half a second back from him now. Should be comfortably within the DRS zone. Just need to not outbrake myself into this corner. So I brake a little bit late to make sure, and I did outbrake myself a little bit. Got a few marbles on the tyres, but didn't really lose any time. So KERS and DRS available to me, and the rich mixture just for fun. Comfortable. Look at that. He's not beside me, he's behind me. Happy days. So going back to standard mixture, don't need the rich anymore. So 1 lap early. If this is the last lap, would have been a bit more tense, but there we go. So 1.6 of my previous. Purple, fastest of anyone, that's because of the DRS, so it looks like I might even have the fastest lap of the race. Obviously still pushing hard to try and pull away from Vettel if I can. We'll see if I can manage it or not. So coming around this fast sector then. As I said, it's not the last lap of the race. We've got one more to go after this one. Still taking it a little bit easy for that corner though, because as I said, if I cut one more corner, I reckon I'll get a penalty. So I just need to be very careful not to cut any corners. Don't want to get this far from last to first, and then get a penalty right at the end. So I do though get a fast lap of the race, a 39.8, and that was being a bit conservative into a couple of those corners. So you have to take multiple stabs at the corner again. Ooh, bit of oversteer. Need to be careful not to lose it as well. 39.8, that's a pretty quick lap. Happy with that. So, over 2 seconds then to Vettel. Behind me, that probably will increase a little bit, even though we're 10th and a half down. 2.1, increases a tiny bit, but not a lot. So, got a bit of dirt on my tyres there, which pushed me very wide as you can see. And it forced me to come off the throttle, but lost me probably a couple of tenths. Not too badly, as long as Vettel isn't inside my DRS zone, which I don't think he is. Alonso will be inside Vettel's though, so let's watch the mini-map and see if Alonso can get Vettel. So I use all my KERS there, because I can. Don't really need it anymore. You see Alonso's gaining massively on Vettel on the mini-map. He's up alongside him. Will he be able to overtake him? No, he backs out of it last minute. That's the disadvantage really of the AI, is that they back out of it too easily. If that was really Alonso, he'd have had a dive up the inside or outside, either way. He'd had a dive one way or the other. So Button's now in 4th. So Button's obviously overtaken Rosberg. Perhaps Rosberg's had a problem, not sure, but Button's quick, as you can see, he's pulled out from the car in front of him. On the mini-map again, I'm looking. Okay, so last couple of corners then, again, just being a little bit cautious through this corner, as it's very easy to make a mistake, and I don't want that penalty, so final corner of the race then. And it's a reasonably comfortable win for me in the end. As I do a bit of head shaking there. Can't believe my win from last on the grid. Can't contain my excitement. So there we go, position changed, gained 23 places. Lewis Hamilton, first place at the American Grand Prix. We'll see if that unfolds for real on Sunday, but in the pretend world, it certainly happened. So there we go, fast up the race, 39.8. Around 2 seconds faster than Vettel, but obviously that was because I had those options at the end, so that was partly down to my tyre choice, but obviously I was still quick enough on the primes. So here we go then. This cinematic that's getting pretty repetitive now. Just slightly different drivers, but it's always the same animation, isn't it? I think they should have at least sort of 3 or 4 different animations that it randomly plays, rather than just having the same one every time you win. It's a final punch of the air there. Okay, so that was my quick race at the Circuit of Americas in the USA. It's a pretty good race, wasn't it? Like I said, from last on the grid right up to first place, it was pretty eventful. And a cockpit cam as well, which a couple of you have asked me to do, so I've done one for you. And up next will be a career video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.